They decided to come back. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got you. Come on in. Steve, good to see you again.
Yeah, you too, man. How you doing?
Your ears must have been burning. Dana and I were talking about you the other day.
Oh, God. Well, hopefully good.
Always all good. Good afternoon, everybody. Come on in. Turn those cameras on so I can see those bright, smiley faces. And if you're eating lunch, that's totally fine, too. If you're drinking bourbon, that's fine, too. Just do what you got to do. But just let me see your smiley face. Here they come. Here they come. Here they all come. Tammy, we didn't scare away too many from last time. This is good. Not too many. Not too many. Okay, guys, welcome, 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 welcome. My name is Adam Roach. You're going to be going into a group coaching session right now. I want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Derek Elbert. Derek and I had a great conversation after our last group coaching session that we did last month, and he had some incredible questions, and we had some incredible conversations. So, Derek, I want to give you a shout out. Thanks for pushing the envelope there, my friend. So here's how the framework works here, everybody. Turn your cameras on. This is going to be an open forum. This is not about what I'm going to present to you. This is about what topics you guys want to cover in your business right now, right? What specifically is stopping you or slowing you down from reaching whatever your end of the year goal is? So right now, here's what I want to do. We're going to cover 3 areas. If you know anything about the way that I coach, we cover 3 areas: health, wealth, and relationships. In my world, I believe that you have the opportunity not only to be a millionaire in the space of business, and why not be a whole life millionaire, right? So health, wealth, and relationships, these can cover a vast array of topics. And what I want to do right now is open this up to everybody with the understanding that we're going to share. So there's no judgment here in any questions or topics that you share, though I want you to bring out something right now that is specifically stopping you from reaching your goal here in the health space, in the wealth space, or the relationship space. And I'm going to write them all down. I'm going to write these topics down, and then we're going to decide which topics we want to cover over the next 55 minutes. So unmute yourself. Let me see your bright, smiley faces. I'm going to write, and you're going to talk. Go.
So, Adam, I appreciate your thoughts there. And my desire would be procrastination. What does that look like as we enter kind of the holiday season? And, just wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
Gotcha. Derek, give that to me in a question, if you wouldn't mind. What about procrastination do you want to uncover there?
When you had the tendencies to procrastinate, what would be the tools that you could reach out of your toolbox to be purposeful and intentional?
Nice. Got it. Keep going. Keep them coming. Okay, love that. Nice job, Derek. Who else? Health, wealth, relationships, business, money, you name it, we'll cover it. What's stopping you from hitting the goal? Hey, Tammy.
Mine would be laziness. Couple different things. Laziness, obviously, with my workouts. Okay. But a lot of the thing for me is that in the last couple of years, the business has kind of just come in without me having to do as much for my clients. And I'm finding it hard to get that rhythm of things that I did before with those clients again, like get those action items that I've always done with them before. So, and a lot of it is laziness. I tend to get a little lazy this time of year.
Got it. Okay.
I can't hear.
Got it. Okay. The rhythm for doing things, laziness, the business was coming in. Now it's not coming in as fast as it was. And you got to get back into the action. So what if we change laziness to habits? Would that be okay? Right.
Yes,
you can be lazy.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. Got it. Okay, give me 2 or 3 more, please.
I would like to know any thoughts or ideas about how to get maybe in a team concept, or to get the team motivated to pick up the phone to touch base with their database from now through the end of the year to get 2023 off to a good start.
Nice. Love it. Okay. With intentionality, let's put that. And give me one more, please, and we're going to vote on which one we want to talk about first.
For me, it would be more of a fear of failure. Like if I think that I'm going to not be able to do it, then I would rather not try at all.
Love it. Who said that? So you, Josh? Got it. Fear of failure.
Josh, I probably talk to one agent a minimum a day that says that same exact thing. So you're
So Josh, let me make sure I heard you right there. Fear of failure, and the fear of failure paralyzes you to start. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So no start. Love that. Anything else? I know I said one more. Does anybody else have another one they want to share that's just itching at you to unmute and share?
Mine is just, it's discipline. It kind of falls right along with like all of the rest, like procrastination habits, things like that. But I would just say like the discipline, to even on the days that I don't feel motivated, I still do it because I'm just in that routine. So that would be for me for health and wealth.
Okay. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so we've got this. This is interesting. And by the way, we didn't set this up. Check this out. Procrastination, laziness can kind of go hand in hand. Team motivation, procrastination, lazy, team motivated, fear of failure, and discipline. These are good, you guys. These are really, really good. And they all kind of speak the same language. Would we agree? Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. Okay, so we're going to go virtual here, meaning that you get to raise your hand. You only get 2 votes. No cheating. You get 2 votes. And we're going to pick a topic right now for the very first one. So who wants, just raise your hand. Who wants to talk about procrastination first? Let me see a show of hands. We got 1. We got 1. We got 1. We got 1. Okay, we got 1 right there. Who wants to talk about laziness?
Adam, tell them how they can raise their virtual, or if you guys go to reactions, you can raise your virtual hand too, if your camera's not on.
Or you can just do this. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, see, a lot of people raise their hand. There you go. Okay.
There we go. Okay, so is that 3 for procrastination? Okay, got it. Wait, was that procrastination or lazy?
Procrastination.
Procrastination.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we got 3 for procrastination. You can lower those hands. Let's go to lazy. Talk about being lazy. I got 1. I got 2. I got a real 1. 3. We got 4. Like a auctioneer. We got a 5. We got a 5. Dennis got a 5. Can I get a 6? Can I get 6? 7? 7? I think I got 6 there. Nice job. 6. Okay, got it. Remember, you get 2 votes. What about team motivation? Motivating those. I'm going to say motivating those around you. Let's see here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 4. We got another stander upper. We got a 5. We got a 6. 6, 6. We got a 6. Can I get a 7? We got a 7 right there. 8. Boy, I should have been an auctioneer. We got a 9. Excellent. We're going to go with 9 right there. There's our leader right there. Fear of failure. Lower those hands. Lower those hands and now raise them if you want to talk about fear of failure. Gosh, this is a good one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. I got 9. I got 10. I got Joan, you're clapping. You're throwing me off. I don't know what that means. Does that mean that's a subject you want to talk about? I'm a little confused. Okay, there's 11. Okay. Okay, we're going to, there's 11. And let's go to discipline. Remember, you only get 2 votes here, Tammy. I think you voted for all of them so far. Okay, what do we have about discipline? Do we have anybody with discipline? I've got 2, we got 3, 4, 5, 5, 5. Anybody else? 5, 6, 6, 6. All right, nice job. We got a 6er right there. Nice. Okay, looks like we're talking about fear of failure and then team motivation as 1 and 2, followed by lazy, discipline, and procrastination. Derek, we might have to have another.
Kind of the same. Don't you feel like all
They
those
are
are
kind of all the same. They are. They are. So we're going to talk about them. We're going to break them down. Okay, so let's get into this. Can we see that? Kind of still see that? By the way, I'm like a 6-year-old and I have to literally write everywhere. I'm a very visual learner. You guys know if you guys are visual, audio, or kinesthetic in learning? What do you think? Does anybody know? What type of learners are you guys?
Visual.
We got visual. Nice.
Kinesthetic.
Okay, kinesthetic, nice. We got an audio, nice. Steve is audio. It's a good thing we're doing both live here with Zoom and coffee. Okay, so we're gonna go to fear of failure. Fear of failure. Okay, let's talk about fear of failure. I forget, Josh, was that you that brought this one up? I can't remember. Okay, Josh, unmute yourself and let's have a conversation. So fear of failure shows up. By the way, let me ask permission. Josh, can I have permission to talk to you about this?
Yeah, I am in a public setting, so I might not have a lot to say out loud.
Okay, got it. So fear of failure. Okay. Anybody can unmute themselves here since he's in a public setting. Fear of failure. How does this show up? Right? How is this showing up and how do you know it's the fear of failure? Walk me through that. And Josh, feel free if you want to share, but anybody else can. How do you know, what does that mean, fear of failure, and it's showing up?
Just lack of action.
Lack of action. Okay, keep
A
going.
lot-
How
A lot of times it's confidence. Like I might know the answer and I might be right, but I'm not 100% sure that I've got it right. So then I just pause.
So confidence in making a decision.
I think
Is that
my fear of failure comes more from like I get that paralysis from analysis because I want to know everything. So like trying to get into the like investment property side of things, I've gone to all these things, I've listened to all these things, all this stuff, but like to jump into it, like I'm so afraid I'm just gonna fail. So I would say that's me, like I just paralysis by analysis.
Good, love that, thank you. Anybody else? Fear of failure, how is it manifesting in your world? Okay, we can use these. All right, so let's
Andrew
use these.
said comparison in the chat. I
Ooh,
think that's,
comparison.
yeah, I think
Good
that's a
one.
good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's a really good one too, because I have a lot of issues, obviously, but I would say that one would be a good one too, because I'll see all these people on social media and I'm like, oh my God, they are killing it, and then I'm like, but I don't have all of that, and so I think I also sometimes, only being in the business for 2.5 years, sometimes I'm like, did I make the right decision? Should I go back into my old field? Things like that. So
Love it. Gosh, this is so good. Now let's I'm gonna throw you a curveball here. With a virtual hand or even with your own actual hand, how many people have written and articulatable vision statements? How many? We got a 1, we got a 1, we got a no, we've got a 2, we got a no, we got a no. We've got some of you not making virtual eye contact with me, which that means no. I know what that means, right? So we've got a few of you that have vision statements. We got a nope in the chat. So those that have vision statements, let's talk about this for a second. Those that have vision statements, I'm not going to say you're right or wrong here, though. Do you get caught up in fear of failure sometimes or not? What if you have a vision statement? Let's talk for a second. Who's got one? Who had one? I can't remember. Blair has one. Blair, will you talk to me?
Yeah, I have one, but it's not currently with me because I need to update it. So I'm kind of embarrassed, but I made it when I went to Quantum
Blair,
Leap.
I'm confused by that statement. What do you mean it's not clear? Where does it go? Does it go somewhere? I don't
It's on a
understand.
piece
The
of
vision-
paper in my home office.
Wait a minute.
And I'm at my
Wait a minute.
office right now.
Gotcha. So you don't remember what was on that sheet of paper?
Well, I need to update it. It's kind of embarrassing, I know. So
So is that a no? Blair, are you
yes,
telling me
well,
that?
I'll be at halfway. We'll be no for now.
Okay. So I'm having fun with her, though. I want to share with you all is that I want you to focus on vision statements. We all have what it is in our head we want to accomplish, though We don't articulate it well enough, or we don't spend the time to get it out of this brain of ours and put on a sheet of paper. I'm sitting in the I Love Coaching International headquarters. Yes, international, because we have clients in Canada and New Zealand. And our vision statement that I eat, sleep, and breathe every single waking day is to empower coaches to change 100 million lives by using our REAL coaching model. REAL stands for relevant, experiential, authentic leadership, right? I eat, sleep, and breathe that. Dana doesn't know this yet. I got it tattooed on my back, so she can see it behind me. I'm joking. Because again, you got followers, right? And so they got to. That was a bad joke. Okay, so
do vision boards count?
They can count, absolutely.
Okay, then
Yeah.
I have it on my phone. I could text to you or email.
Okay, perfect. Though I'm going to come back to this example, that vision statement, or I'll even go back to my Keller Williams franchises. To become the most attractive and vibrant real estate office in all of Charleston, committed to a model of excellence. That was our vision statement. We eat, sleep, and breathe that statement. Now, I'm going to come back to this in a second. Did we have fear that we were going to mess up? Yes. Did we have fear in making choices? Yes. Do I have fear of doing that right now? Absolutely. Though here's what I do. Any single action item that is in my opportunity zone to make, I measure it against the vision statement. Okay? I measure it. Now, that's step number one. You have to have a vision statement, and you have to be able to measure whatever decision you need to make against the vision statement. And what are we looking for? Alignment. That's misaligned. This is aligned. We're looking for alignment in your decisions. Always, 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 always. Because the vision statement will then what? It'll pull you forward into action, right? Lack of action was the very first one. If we know where we are, keyword here, growing to, because you have to grow to your vision statement. You can't just go to it. You have to grow to it. We are going to learn what actions we have to take. Okay. Where does fear show up? How does fear show up? Where does fear usually show up and why? What causes the fear to show up? Anybody? What causes fear to show up?
Lack of preparation.
Lack of preparation, right? And what is, so lack of preparation comes from what? Lack of preparation comes from an unknown, right? An unknown. If someone, if you go to bed at night and you turn off all the lights in your house, okay? Now, some of you know the roots of your house, and you know the stuff that got left out on the floor, though it's still hard to see because you can't see where you're going. All the lights are off. And so you might get a little scared, right? You might get a little scared. Dana, love her to pieces. It's 3 a.m. She turns on every light. She's got to have vision so she can see where she's going. I'm like, baby, turn the lights off. It's so early and so bright, right? Or my favorite, this is what she'll do. Again, this becomes a laser at 3 a.m., right? This is the brightest thing in the planet when she turns this on to go.
I can't see where the dogs are. You guys,
they're on the bed, honey. They're fast asleep, like on your side. Okay. You have to have vision, because fear shows up, guys. Fear shows up when you can't see, right? Fear shows up when you don't know what's ahead of you, right? That's when fear shows up. Now, failure, I'm gonna love on you. Can I be really direct here and forthright here? Failure is an insecurity, okay? Failure is just an insecurity. That's your ego talking. Get rid of that puppy, right? Remember, what does ego stand for? Edge and got out, right? Get rid of failure. Failure doesn't matter. I want you to fail. We all need to fail faster. Why do we need to fail faster? To bring that vision to life sooner, right? So this fear right here lives because you haven't been there and you can't see, right? Failure is your ego that you have to let go, right? Because you should want to fail because you'll probably get to where you want to go faster. So now let's take action items. Lack of action. The lack of action is going to show up for many different reasons, because maybe you haven't done it before, right? Maybe you've never been to whatever it is you're looking to do or take action on. Who said that? Steve, was that you that said lack of action? I can't remember. Steve, tell me more about that.
Well, I think, lack of action for my team and myself, I guess, is you just probably fear of failure, inexperience of what you're going to try to do. I really believe in a holiday script that I give my people every fall. and,
Mhm.
change it up any way you want to, but the ones that have done that start the new year out much better than the ones that don't.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but it's a fear of trying to use a script. It's like, it's just a conversation starter, so,
Right.
It doesn't have to be the script, it just needs to get the phone in your hand.
Yeah, exactly. And watch this. Fear, now you're walking through your house, right? And you can't see anything, but again, you start to learn the way through the house because you've been there and walked that path before, even if you can't see, right? So that's called repetition. I know when I get up at 5 a.m. and walk out of the house with no lights on because I know my route of my house, and I know I'm not going to step on any dogs or anything like that. I don't need to turn on a light because I've done it before. So I don't have that fear of stepping on anything because I've been there. So Steve, you're absolutely right. The action of repetition is what's going to get you out of this fear of failure. Okay.
Making it a habit.
That's correct. And we're going to talk about that in a second. Confidence in making decisions. I don't remember who said confidence in making decisions. Who was that? Let's talk about that. Oh, I don't remember who said that. Okay, it doesn't matter. Confidence in making decisions, again, just only comes from letting go of the fear of failure and the fear itself, right? It's okay. If you want to go invest, I can't remember. I think that might have been the example that someone said, Sarah, you were using the example of investing there, right? Lack of making a decision, right? It's go get more who's is what I would suggest, right? If you feel that you're making a decision in a silo-based environment, go surround yourself with people who have already been there and done that to help that. The other thing that I would say, again, if we're just talking about investments, is you have to know your vehicles in investments. You got to know your capacity to get in the investments. You got to know what it is you can do inside that investment. You got to have a standard as it relates to your rate of return. And then it becomes a no-brainer, right? And then it becomes a no-brainer just to simply invest because the dollars are already allocated for it. It fits whatever the mold is that you're looking for, and you can make them the decision, right? You can make that decision. Let's see here. Paralysis by analysis. Again, I feel like I'm doing a lot of telling here, and this isn't the way I coach, though at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and share some of these things. Paralysis by analysis is lack of clarity, right? In my opinion, that's just lack of clarity. And that's okay. You may be someone that is a slow trigger puller. That's totally fine. Find out what you need. Define success ahead of time. And as you define success, come back and analyze whatever you need to. And if they, again, align, pull the trigger, right? Pull the trigger. And then comparison. Oh, that's the enemy of everything. Comparison is the enemy of everything. Comparison, in my opinion, is right there next to judgment. If you judge, you lose, right? If you instantly judge, you lose. In my opinion, if you instantly compare yourself to somebody else based on their stupid social media, which is perfect anyway, stop. It's not necessary, right? You are in your own lane here. And guess what? Someone is looking at you probably saying, gosh, I wish I was just like that person, right? I wish I was just like that person. So no, let go of comparisons. I know that's easier said than done. Though again, that's just an insecurity. Okay. Comparison is just an insecurity that be comfortable with your own self, be comfortable with your own investments, be comfortable with your own business, be comfortable with all that stuff. You can actually look up to people, right? Find more who's that you can look up to and challenge yourself with aligning and getting to where they are. I belong to a group called GoBundance. And there's people in there that have hundreds of millions of dollars in net worth. And I'm not close to that. And what we had to do when we first started this in 2014 is literally be silly, but raise our right hand and say, I will never judge, right? I will never judge someone as we look at someone else's financials because that's where they are, right? That's truly where they are. And it's been something that I've carried with me for nearly 10 years now, that as I coach and help people and we look at their finances, that's just where you are, right? And if you can't share where you are, that's okay. Just know that you're not going to be judged. So the comparison thing is just appreciate where you are, right? Appreciate where you are right now, whatever it is, if it's a material thing, if it's a health thing, if it's a wealth thing, it's a relationship thing, just appreciate where you are and just know the path that you're going to take to get to where you want to go. That's
Adam,
all I would
can I share something on the comparison thing and share my screen really fast?
Yeah, I don't have to pull that. Yeah.
I have it. Hold on. this is actually a class that I teach, but I just found it. And so I just want to play from this slide because I think this is so important right now. One of my favorite quotes ever is Craig Rochelle: the fastest way to kill or destroy something special is to compare it to something else. And he always
Yes.
says comparison makes you feel two ways, superior or inferior. And really, this is kind of a faith-based class, but if you're not a faith-based person, this doesn't matter because it's the same thing, but neither of those are a good feeling. But what I always share in this is I love, one of my favorite verses is Hebrews 12:1-2. The quickest way to lose a race is to look over your shoulder. Behind you, always look forward. And my favorite image of all time, and you guys will know it, is this one. And it was Michael Phelps competing for the 10th gold medal to make him the winningest Olympian of all times. And look at where Chad was looking and look at where Phelps was looking. And Chad was not focused on his race and running his own race and staying in his lane. He was focused on what Phelps was doing during that race, and Phelps was running his race. He wasn't focused on comparison or seeing what anybody else was doing. And Phelps won by one stroke, making him the winningest Olympian of all times. So that to me is like, anytime I think of compare, and we all do it, and I'm just as guilty of it as everybody else, especially because of social media. But anytime you're starting to think about that, or I am, at least, I go back to this because I feel like when you run your race and you focus on you, like that's what matters, not focusing, because I can't run Tammy's race and she can't run my race. And you can't run Steve's race and Steve can't run your race. Like we all have our own race.
And in race, you can replace with vision.
Yeah.
Right. Michael knew that he wanted to be the greatest Olympian swimmer of all times. And he wasn't concerned about anybody else other than himself, which was touching and out touching everybody else in that pool. Yeah. So get a vision, right? Get that vision. I want to share here, and Dana and I do this pretty well. So our family has to become a family that is deep rooted in faith, love, trust, and communication. We will accomplish this by consistently living by and being 100% committed to our family values, which are faith, kindness, commitment, giving, and fun. So we measure everything against that. So if you want to compare, right, what I would suggest there is compare whatever it is you're attempting to do to your vision statement. Right? Where are you growing to? Michael Phelps wanted to be the most declared Olympic athlete in the pool. So he wasn't going to look where his competition was. He wasn't going to compare.
So did you have a vision statement for each of those? Like you have a family vision statement too? Was that your family vision?
That was the family vision.
Oh,
yeah.
So, okay. I didn't realize that. That's cool. So you've got one for everything.
And then, and here's the neat part about that is when we went to the family values, everybody got to define the family values. So the team came together, if you will, and said faith, and that's have faith, love, and gratitude for God. Kindness was Amelia, and she said, treat others as you'd like to be treated. Commitment was Addison. Be 100% committed to all your commitments and see them through. Dana was generosity, and that's give daily. And mine was fun, and have more fun today than you did yesterday. Right. So those are our values, that the core values actually for our vision statement, which we have to be 100% committed to. And it's sort of
just talked about that with the Christmas situation too, Adam. I didn't even think about that. But we decided this year that we're only giving 5 Christmas presents, like 5 gifts to the kids and like 1 to our family members. And we're surprising them and taking them to London in January, because we were like, this is so dumb. We have so much stuff and nobody needs anything else. And when we look at our family vision and values, like that, all of those things, I mean, we can incorporate that into that, and we'll give them a great experience that they'll remember.
Yeah. So I've asked for a Ferrari, a new F-150, a new boat, Steve. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Just 5 gifts. We all get to choose just 5 gifts. Yeah. Okay. How are we doing here? How are we doing here with the fear of failure? Did we uncover this? Did we smoke some stuff out there? Any feedback or ahas before we move on? Because we've got another topic to cover. Anything you want to take into action?
I I wrote like a bunch of notes just based off of things that we were saying, and I found it very helpful. And it's not like you introduced anything like new. It was just that sometimes, you know, like they say you have to hear things a certain amount of times before it actually clicks. Like the more that I hear you talk and the more that, you know, people are giving things, it helps things kind of click in my head. So I
Good.
find this very helpful.
Good, excellent. Keep going. Who else?
I would like to try to maybe get a nugget that's just like trying to lay down a bunt, something super easy that they can get some confidence with. You know, most of mine's regarding working your database and picking up the phone. Is there anything along that? Get over the fear, because you know, anybody can stick the bat out there and have the ball hit the bat. So
Yeah. Steve, I'll come back to that. I think it was Blair. Blair said vision board, right? So Blair, this lives, right? This is my vision board, right? And you can see it's written on, and those aren't just things that I wrote on for phone numbers or something like that. This is actual, did we accomplish, did we not accomplish? And this is what's called my one sheet, right? So my one sheet I use, which is basically health, wealth, and relationships, bucket list, upcoming highs, right? So this is the financial part is tracked, right? So everything's tracked there. So Steve, to that point, swinging for the fences, right? Have them get clarity, right? Help them get clarity on things in their world, which again, without sounding like I'm self-promoting, which is why in I Love Coaching, we have those three pillars, health, wealth, and relationships. And we coach through the whole person, not just their lane of business or whatever it is that they want to be growing, right? We coach through the whole person. Okay, any other ahas here? Because we're going to move on to team motivation.
I like the point that you made about surrounding yourself with people who are where you want to get to. Like, and I think that's always helpful when you have lunch with somebody who has accomplished something that you want to accomplish. Like, you always learn from them, and I don't do that enough. So I guess making that a point of my week.
Yeah. Love it. Now here, let's see here. Carrie, you said that, right? That can lead down a slippery slope of comparison if we're not careful. Okay, of comparison if we're not careful. So I have someone that I coach here locally, and that is one of his action items per month is to meet with two people that are where he intends to grow to. And his very first thing was, why would they want to meet with me? Right? Why would they want to meet with me? And I said, well, how do you know they wouldn't want to meet with you? He's like, I don't know. I guess I've never asked them. And so, well, there you go. So you're already projecting your own insecurities that they wouldn't want to meet with you. So go ask them, right? Hey, do you mind if I meet with you for 30 minutes, go take you for a cup of coffee and pick your brain around whatever space it is, right? Investing or health or any of those types of things. So yeah, I love that, Carrie. And be sure that you keep an open mind and an open heart, not to compare, right? And not to pass your judgment or your insecurities. Project them. Cool. That was great. Okay, let's move on to team motivation. So team motivation can be, again, anywhere in the business world. It can be in your family world. It can be in your any other world where you have a team. Who wants to share some of the ideas that they're currently doing to motivate your team? Let's make this a little mastermind. What are you doing right now to motivate your team?
Well, I'll go since I brought that topic up, I guess. But I set goals with them every December for the next year.
Okay.
And if everybody that hit their goal, we decided we're going to take a trip to some place like the Outer Banks, or everybody that qualified and hit their goals. So I would say, 75% of the team hit their goals. So, it's, another kind of incentive to try to get them to stretch. And if they're, within, the first quarter, they missed their goals, they can work harder in the second quarter and pick up their bonus for the second quarter. So, just trying to get them buying into, the importance of goals and trying to hit those goals. And, I don't allow them to try to sandbag. There's a monetary amount that you know, if you say, yeah, I'm gonna do 3 transactions in the first quarter and you do 8, you know, you don't get paid for all those. You get kind of 1.5 times what you gold. So you want to stretch, but not overstretch, I guess. So, and that may not be the best way to do it, but anyways, so we've got a trip we're gonna plan for next year, and you know, that's worked out well. And then 2 people that didn't hit it last year have already hit it this year. So they were kind of motivated to not miss the bus. So
Love it.
so
Love it. Good. That's good. So I hear a lot of monetary motivation there, right?
but I wanted the trip to be, you know, together so we can have team building. We used to do, and another job I had was Buddy Up, and that was basically scuba diving. So you always have a buddy when you're underwater. So the
Mhm.
vendors got to go, and the sales reps got to go, and it was just at the Cayman Islands, so not a bad place to go
Yeah.
team build, you know. So it was really high fashion. So
So Steve, while we're talking here, let me ask you this question. Is curious, how do you what do you do to find out what actually motivates your individual team members?
well, I guess I start out with, you know, is it about the money? Is it about, you know, are you working toward a personal goal? They have a vision board that they all kind of put together. It's like, oh, I see you got a kitchen remodel. Now that's a big expense. You know, how can I help you get to that? You know, one person wants to buy a boat, you know, another person wants to build a house, you know, so you know, those things we like to check them off and have something new to the vision board. And why didn't we take that off your vision board last year? And how do we get that to happen this year? So I try to get inside their world, and you know, I like to try to get buy-in from their spouse if they happen to have one, and you know, hey, working with you know, so and so on the team, and you know, is there anything we can do together to kind of get buy-in, you know?
So how do we, and this, I want to open this up to everybody on your team or in your teams or anywhere in your world, when you have teams around you, how do you know what they need versus what they desire, right? How do we know what is going to pull them forward, right? What's going to really be a white hot burning desire, right? So if you look at a flame, you can see the yellow, the oranges, and the white's always going to be the hottest. So what are you all doing right there in uncovering the difference between a need and a desire? Good. Tammy, quiet is their thinking. This is good. Okay. I will challenge you all there. Yes, Steve, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I try to get into mentoring one-on-one with them, and try to dig into what's their motivation. You know, if you're just in this for the money, then, you know, that's a great job to have to make money, but there's got to be other things. And how do we get you motivated to, you know, pick up the phone or make a phone call or send out emails or touch your database, however. So.
Yeah, I would go into your teams and see if you can't break that down to understand what the difference between a desire is. Like this is something they will accomplish, right? Come hell or high water, they're going to hit this goal, versus a need. And I'll give you an example. So it's 2015, and I'd been in my market center here in Charleston for 2 years. And I even came down here transitioning from Los Angeles. I was in the Keller Williams Beverly Hills office. And I told the OP that I wanted to buy 5 shares of this market center. Now, in my mind, I had a goal of passive income. Okay. I knew that the goal for me that year was to make $120,000 of horizontal income. And so when I came to this market center, I said, I want to buy 5 shares. He said, well, you're not going to be able to buy 5 shares because you need to prove yourself. I said, great. Tell me what I need to do to prove myself. So that was 2014. By 2015, he said, great, you've proven yourself and you can actually buy 10 shares. Now, I had already done all the math in my head of what the value would be from the ROI. It was going to cost me $120,000 to buy 10 shares. So I went out and found the money and got it done. Then I said, hey, I've already done the math as it relates to my goal, and I want to make $120,000 in passive income. So I have to own 20% of this office. He says, well, what do you want to do? I said, what if I put it out there that again, you can see the desire there. I did exactly what I did in 12 months. In 6 months, you'll give me 10 shares. He's like, get out of here. I said, no, put it out on a piece of paper and watch what I can do. So in 3 years, 2013 to 2000, now end of 17, 4 years, We took it from $300,000 in profit to nearly $800,000. I hit my goal in 2016 in 6 months. They gave me 10 more shares of the office, and now I own 20 shares of that office, and it was printing almost over, well, it was at my goal, right? That was the desire, right? So that was my white hot burning desire that no one was going to get in my way, because that was my focus. That was my vision. That was what I was going to accomplish. I didn't need to make $120,000. I didn't need to have that. My desire was to make money while I was sleeping, right? So that's what motivated. No one needed to motivate me either, right? Because I knew what that would do for my family. So that was what kept me going. So get in there and find that for yourselves, find that for your teams. If you are a team leader, I would challenge you, how motivated are you on a daily basis, and who sees it and who knows it, and how do you show it? Right? Because again, they're all following you, right? When I was being silly and saying I got that tattooed on my back, I put that there for a reason, because the people that are in our organization are following me. And I know that, right? So I'm going to be the one that has to show up and get stuff done. I'm gonna have to be the one that shows up and follows through with the goals that are set, right? Because they're following me. So everything starts with you. So I'll put a mirror up, right? This is a mirror. So I'm gonna ask you, how do you stay, this is rhetorical. How are you staying motivated? How are you showing that you're motivated? Who are you showing that you're motivated to? Every week we have what's called the L10. So this is, we as you can tell, I'm a tracking crazy guy. But we follow the EOS system, and every Monday we have an L10 meeting, and we have to look at our numbers every single Monday. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're on or off track. We talk about it every single Monday. We create to-dos around the off-track items, and we create issues off of the ones that haven't been accomplished in 2 weeks. And the ones that become an issue, we do what's called IDS, identify, discuss, and solve. No judgment, right? No judgment. We just get after it. So everyone stays motivated because we look at our KPIs literally every single week, every week. Okay. Have I lost y'all? How y'all doing? Catch me up. Where are we at? Good. We're good. We got a thumbs up. Steve, how are we doing on this right here? This was your topic. How are we doing?
Good. It's good. I was thinking about, like having a call meeting, and I know how to set that up where we'd all be in a room and making phone calls same time, and kind of sharing success stories as the evening goes on around pizza or something. But that's just a logistic thing. But I think getting their desires is probably more important than that. So
yeah, because those are actions you were just speaking of, right? So right now, guys, if you don't want to make your phone calls, if you don't want to lead generate, if you don't want to open up the MREA book to page 138 and see the active and passive forms of lead generation, that's cool. But you're going to need to do that, right? If you're in the real estate business, you need to talk to people. You need to run your business as it relates to building your database and connecting and communicating with people. This is our business, right? This is our business. So that's an actionable item there, Steve. That motivation there. I mean, the motivation is the desire, right? They know that the calls are the vehicle to get them to their desire. I knew in that 6 months, no one needed to tell me to go lead generate. I knew I needed to lead generate to bring forth the vision that I had of having 20 shares of that office, right?
I guess.
And here was. Go ahead, Steve.
I guess I feel like, how did this year make you feel? And if you desire not to feel that way again next year, what are we going to do differently? So.
Yeah. A great word there, feel, because feel opens up emotion, right? And think makes them logic based, and emotion will make them move. Yeah, emotion will make them move. Yeah, good. Okay. Anybody else? I want to talk about your motivation, right? So how motivated are you right now? Because that was one of them, with discipline and procrastination and being lazy. How motivated are you right now? And what's motivating you every single day? I mean, we're at the end of the year. It's the time to be lazy. Thanksgiving's right around the corner. So is Christmas. What are we doing here? What's motivating you to continue to push here in the fourth quarter?
The knowledge that what I do now is going to affect me first quarter, second quarter, all of next year.
That's good. Planning. Amber says planning. That's good. What's continuing to motivate you right now? Because so many agents are taking off. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you prefer the
Reducing
chat or
stress.
actually just talking?
Oh, Hold on, John, you go first. What, John?
Reducing stress.
Your motivation is to reduce stress?
One of them, yes.
Yeah. And curious, what are you doing daily to help you reduce stress?
I'm trying to utilize a CRM to help streamline things so that everyone on the team has tasks assigned to them accordingly whenever there's a new lead, so that everyone knows their role and can respond accordingly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And how's that going? Is it working well?
So far, but I'll admit I feel as if it's kind of in its infancy, and I'm learning more and more about the software to help me better build it.
Mm-hmm. Is this what CRM is it, if you don't mind me asking?
Asana.
Ooh, I don't know Asana. Cool. And now curious, do you have definitions of success for the utilization of that new CRM?
Admittedly, no, nothing explicitly defined.
Cool. Does your team?
No.
Perfect. Okay, great. So guess who that starts with? You, right? You get to define success here with that CRM. You get to define success based on a trackable measurement that will help everybody else see that, holy cow, this system is really working, right? Which,
Yes.
as you said, that ultimately reduces stress. Nice job. Nice job.
Fingers crossed.
Now, John, can we have some fun here for a second?
By all means.
Good. Because that was my value is fun. And this is fun for me. Is when will you have those definitions of success created?
I would say that it would be important that I set a deadline to do that, to hold myself accountable. But let's say by 11:15 to 11:30, that way, like, we have something like trackable to see if we're meeting those goals.
So you want to have the definition of success done before 11:15?
Yes.
And then by 11:15 to 11:30, you'll track it.
Well, yeah, we'll begin to track it and see if, like, what we're yielding result wise is showing whether we're progressing or not, and then if we need to adjust the reporting that we're getting.
Gotcha. Cool. Curious, John, do you like, appreciate, and or hate and don't want to have ever accountability? Where are you in the accountability zone?
I'm all for it. I mean,
Yes.
actions.
Who on this call is in your who on this call is in your office or in your peripheral?
Oh my, let's
Joan?
30. Joan is definitely, if she's in here. I have to look at this participant list.
Okay, perfect. We're going with Joan. She's the first one to raise her hand. Joan, here's what we're going to have some fun with. If John doesn't have this done by the 13th, he's got to share this with you. He's going to donate $500 to the I Love Coaching book fund that we then buy books for people who can't afford books. So John, what do you think about that? You in for that? Okay, good. I'm glad you're participating here. This is awesome, John. Nice job. Nice job.
I love it.
John, nice job. Thanks for playing. You said we could have fun, and that's going to give you some motivation, whether it's the $500 or not. Though this is going to help your team member create some momentum. Team members create momentum going forward. Would you agree?
Yes.
Got it. Perfect. John, do me a favor here. I'm going to, in my 146. All right, there's my cell phone. Text me your number and I'll make sure that you stay accountable there. Okay, perfect. Who else wants to play? So what else are you doing right now as it relates to procrastinating, laziness, discipline, motivating yourself and or staying motivated? Andrew said, I'm in competition with myself. I'm working hard now to set myself up for a great next quarter. Andrew, that's great. Andrew, what are you competing? What does that mean? You're competing with yourself. What does that mean? Can you unmute yourself and chat?
Oh. Hey, yeah. So I'm still a newer agent. I'm only 2 years in. So I'm considering I'm competing with myself as far as my productivity level. That's really my focus right now. So I'm looking at the amount of units sold, the amount of overall production, GCIs in each quarter, and I'm wanting to double those for next year.
Excellent. Love that. So doubling is a great word. So where will that take you from a doubling standpoint? Let's go GCI wise.
What exactly are you meaning? Like my exact numbers?
Yeah. So when you double your business, right? That was, I heard the goal. Where will that put your GCI? Just curious. Did you freeze? You froze.
That will. Oh wait, am I
Gotcha.
back now? Am I good?
Yeah, you're back. Yep.
All right, sorry. I don't have a complete breakdown of that because that's actually what I'm working on as we speak.
Okay.
But if I completely double myself for next year, that's going to put me right around 18 million for the year.
Nice. What's that give your GCI?
I've not even mapped that out yet. So that's actively.
Somebody help him. Get your calculator out. Somebody help him here real quick. What are you at 3% commission on average?
Yes.
All right. Somebody give the GCI there, please. And we can do this in our head. Not bad. Just south of 600,000.
540.
Perfect. Okay. 540. Now, Andrew, let me ask you this question, because I love being in competition with yourself. Clearly, you heard my story of me competing for 6 months of wanting to get my desired outcome, which I achieved, because you sound like someone. And again, guys, there's two different ways of being accountable. You're either an accountable person or you need to be held accountable. Right. And what I'm hearing right here is, Andrew, maybe you are an accountable person, which is fantastic. So let me ask you, though, who are you hanging around right now that is making $540,000 in gross income? How many people?
Two.
Excellent.
Yes.
And of those two, how frequently do you hang with them?
One of those is about once a week. The other one's probably 4 days a week.
Gotcha. And of those times, are you specifically talking about making $540,000? How frequently in those conversations are you talking about making $540,000?
Rarely ever.
Ah, beautiful. Love it. Okay. So remember, this is a bold law, and y'all know this. And maybe, Andrew, if you haven't been to bold, this is a bold law that says you grow into the conversations that you're having. Okay. You grow into the conversations that you're having. I love that you're hanging around two people, though. If you're not talking about where you want to grow to, what's the point of hanging around them? They might be cool friends, right? Where they might drive fast cars or whatever. I'm just kidding. But right, if you want to maximize relationships and you want to compete with yourself and or help yourself grow to that next level of success, talk about what it is you want to accomplish. Right? What have they done? Are they in the same industry?
Yes.
Excellent. So they're doing what you are intending to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Go be like a 2-year-old child that all they want to do is ask questions, right? Questions, and absorb whatever they're saying and bring it back and to put it in action. Now, here's where I would challenge you is keep competing with yourself and go find 3 more people that are doing $600,000 in gross income and go be a 2-year-old with them and ask them a ton of questions.
Got it.
You will gain and grow faster by doing that than competing with yourself, right? Experience, been that, done that. I'm sure many of you on this call have been in that same scenario where when you surround yourself with people and you grew into the conversation you were having, that exponentially expedited your growth.
All right.
What do you think about that challenge, Andrew?
Yeah, let's do it.
Nice. Excellent. Woo. Told you we're going to have fun on this call, you guys. I told you we're going to have fun. Okay, let's get one more. What else, motivation-wise, are you doing? Andrew, thanks for playing. What else are you guys doing to motivate yourself to not be lazy, not stay, lack of discipline, and procrastinating? Has anybody ever read the book Who Not How? They actually say procrastination is a genius trait. The genius trait is this: if you're procrastinating in a certain space, that means you need a who, right? That means you need someone else to be doing that for you. Now, but they can't go to the gym for you. They can't eat right for you, right? They can't save your money for you. They can't invest your money, but pick that out. Okay. Discipline. Let's end with discipline, you guys. Let's end with discipline. What is a disciplined person? How does a disciplined person show up? I'm going to give you the cheat code to what it, go ahead.
Well, I was
Sarah.
just gonna say, I feel like with like discipline is just like that person always shows up no matter what, like, and you know, they're always like present, and I don't know, that just to me is what discipline is.
Got it. We got preparation, we got consistency. With a show of hands, good or bad, how many of you have habits? Who has habits? Got it. Okay, I'm going to help you all out here. Perfect. We got virtual hands. We got all. Everyone that raised their hand when I asked if you have habits, you're disciplined people, because habits create disciplined people. Gary Keller says this all the time. There's no such thing as a disciplined person. There's just a great habit forming person. So the question is, as it relates to going back to when we started, health, wealth, and relationships, right? Where are you showing up, again, in alignment with your vision to create the necessary habits to achieve the desired results? Everything is habit-based. You want to get over some of these: lack of action, confidence in making a decision, paralysis by analysis and comparison. Start creating some habits so those go away, right? Start creating habits that are in alignment with your vision. So I'll give you an example. And Dana hates this about me. I don't use an alarm clock. I can't tell you the last time I actually had an alarm clock go off, not mine, hers. I don't like alarm clocks, right? Internally, I set the alarm in my head because I know that health is one of the most important factors to me, because my goal is to beat my late father, who only lived to be 69. My goal is to definitely destroy that goal, right? So I know that health is super important. So 5 o'clock comes, 5 o'clock goes. I don't even remember getting out of bed this morning, right? Because it is the habit that happens inside my head. And here's the other habit that I want to be a very faith-based person. So one foot hits the ground. Every time a foot hits the ground, all the way to the restroom, I say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm just giving gratitude to God, right? And so that is a habit that has been instilled that I've been doing now for years, because health is important to me and so is faith, right? So, and that's how I start my day. I don't even look at my phone. I grab my phone, it goes in my pocket, and I go for a walk. Now, this is something that I've recently initiated via a doctor, just around health. He's like, you don't need cardio, Adam. What you need, though, is you need this guy to be open, right? You need this guy to not be so bogged down all the time and goals. He says, so I want you to walk for 30 minutes a day. He's like, you're going to hate this, but I want you to walk for 30 minutes a day. I was like, that sounds like the worst thing in the planet. What am I going to do? I said, can I run? He goes, no, you have to walk. I said, gosh, that sounds awful. So here's what I learned from that. I've now walked almost 800 miles. I do track it. I had to put something in there. And so I do track it, but here's what I have found. That has helped my mental space, because I do not get on my phone. It's literally quiet time. It's 5 a.m. If I need my flashlight, I'll pull my flashlight out, but that's about as far as I go as it relates to my phone. And I'll take off walking. And I'll walk for 30 minutes. It's dark. It's cool. And if it's cold outside or if it's raining, I'll still take off and walk, and I'll do my loop, and I'll walk to the gym. And if I still have time on my 30 minutes, I'll get onto the treadmill. I'll put it at 3.5 at speed and put it at 5% incline and just walk for the rest of the time. I get sweaty, I get drippy, but I tell you what, it truly is a habit that I'm so happy that he made me do in the health space, because it's working. So I challenge you in that space of discipline to create more habits. Okay, create more habits. Sorry, I got a little story time there. I apologize. And I do have to jump to a coaching call. So I thank you all for your time today. We will do this again next month. If there's ever anything I can ever do for you, you call me on that cell phone that I put in the chat there. You text me, you email me, adam@ilovecoachingco.com. And I'm here to serve you all. That is my mission in life, is to help 100,000 people. So I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Namaste.
Thank you too.